Hello, welcome to this month's edition of Our Town. On this month's episode, we will be having an interview with 3 lacrosse seniors on how they helped donate to Nashville after their horrific tornado incident. We will also be covering the new lumber store that has opened up in Arlington called Sunrise. Now we will be heading to Hudson with our interview for the lacrosse seniors.
Last Friday night, on March 6th, the Arlington Tigers lacrosse team played against Metro Nashville. Due to a recent tornado, the team took 2 days to gather supplies to send home with the team. Today, we are interviewing 3 seniors on the Arlington lacrosse team to ask how they felt to be a part of something that's bigger than themselves. I'm here with Sam Afani, Landon Zachary, and Holton Foote. And guys, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thanks for the invitation.
No problem. And I know this past Friday y'all played Metro Nashville. And I just how did y'all get in contact with Metro Nashville about helping them out after the whole terrible situation that happened last week?
Well, our coach was telling us once he found out about the tornado hitting, he emailed the team, the coach's head coach, and he was like, "Hey, are y'all okay? Did it affect y'all? He's like, do y'all need anything?" And they were like, "Yeah, donations we would like to give back to our community." And so he decided to set up he had a talk with this guy, and he let us borrow his 18-wheeler, his trailer, and then we almost filled up the whole truck in 2 days.
And I mean, that's great. I mean, I'm glad us as a school has donated, and as y'all's lacrosse team. And that's why we're Arlington, really. I mean, we're out here, donating to the cause. But anyways, we're not the only school, I think, helping out Nashville, because, I know the Tennessee Titans football team, they're even out there helping out because, they're located in Nashville. So just how does it feel to be a part of that, Landon and Holton?
It's great. That we're in an organization and that we're on a team, and we do have fans and stuff like that, and to get the fans involved and get a bunch of people out there to help donate, I think it's really good for us, really good for the town too, to show that we do something like that.
Holton, anything?
Yeah, it's just it's good to be a part of this. Just help everyone out. They're going through some stuff right now, so just a little helping hand.
And you're right. How do you guys think how this represents Arlington as a whole, just helping out?
It makes us look better, like as a school, because we didn't really have to do this. Just kind of something we just pulled out of the bag real quick just to help them out, because these tornadoes are really bad.
We all live in the same state.
Yeah.
Once you go Tennessee, there ain't no going back. That's just how it is.
Yeah, like Holton said, like you said, we didn't have to do this, but we all came together because it wasn't even just us as as the lacrosse team. A bunch of people that don't even have kids related to the program or anything came out and helped and donated once they saw the flyer that we sent out. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't just us; it was Arlington as a whole community. Shows that if you that we're just a nice community that will help out when you don't actually need to, but it just shows that we'll take the extra step as a whole community.
And that follows me up on my next question. How does this really set an example for kids in the community? To just come out, even though you don't have to be a part of anything in Nashville. That's 3 hours away, but you still want to. How does that just set out an example for kids? Maybe coming up, playing lacrosse, and just, set an example.
It just goes to show, you can be anyone and do anything, and you can still help. You don't have to be on a lacrosse team. You don't even have to play sports. You can find a flyer, find some charity someone's doing, and it doesn't even have to be for Nashville. You can go do a blood drive. You can go do stuff like that. Just any way you can help is always awesome.
It is. I know we have charities all around Memphis. We always have the St. Jude Marathon that we do. And just we have a whole bunch of charities, and it's just great, to just help anybody out, any cause, any disease. And I know, we'll get into that later, what I was about to say. But how does it feel to be able to represent your community through sports? What did that game mean to y'all? Going past, just the game of lacrosse, what does it mean to just play against a team that just had something devastating happen? How do y'all feel about that?
It's still a game. Even though they went through a tragedy, you still got to play. You're not going to take it any easier because they're going to go even harder after what happened to them. But it kind of makes you feel good that we helped them out in the end. Win or lose, they got to go home with some necessities that they didn't have before the game, so it was good.
Like Holton said, it shows, as it doesn't have to be sports like Landon said, but it shows character that even after the tragedy that struck, they still came out, because it was a divisional game as well. It's a playoff game. It's required to be in the playoffs. It shows that even after the tragedy struck, they still came out 3 hours away, come here on turf. Don't know if they're going to win or lose against us, because they've won 1 year, we've lost 1 year. They've won. It shows that they can. It just shows the character.
That's dedication. Even though after that tragedy happened, they still come out here and play the game of lacrosse. You know that they love the game. And, I'm glad you guys, still went on with the game and played against them, and, maybe did a prayer before and after the game, praying for them and their families and stuff and all that. But that gets me to my next thing. How did the game go? What happened Friday?
I think we came out. We weren't focused. I think we were more worried about being on the news and stuff like that.
Were y'all on the news?
Yep. Yeah, they did.
The game was on the news.
We were on Fox.
Yeah.
Fox 13.
Fox 13. Yeah. They did an interview with our coach.
And you could say that the game, they were supposed to win that game because of what happened with Nashville and stuff like that. They obviously came out harder, and they fought harder. And we let that one slip. But they're great competitors. We've played them multiple years now. We've won against them. We've lost against them. And we'll still see them later in the season. And right now we're just looking forward to it as a team.
That's good. And we're going to get to more in a sec. But for now, let's go over to a PSA break.
On top of first-class care, you will never receive a bill. The only thing we had to worry about was just keeping Azalea comfortable.
I was told we wouldn't get a bill. I didn't quite process that. How's this possible? It's possible through all the wonderful people who donate.
Para mí lo que la gente hace, consolidarse con la causa que tiene St. Jude, tiene nombre y se llama Sebastián.
It's pretty amazing when you consider that 7 years ago, we didn't have the treatments we have now. We cure 80% of children with cancer. If you think about that, go back 50 years, we were curing 20 to 30%. This is the miracle story of modern medicine.
The research here is research that we share with everyone else because overall, we want to help all children that have cancer. What makes that possible is people that give to St. Jude. They really help us to fulfill our mission, and we're so grateful to have them on our team.
Thank you for joining us back here on Sports Corner / Our Town. And if you were here before the break, y'all know that I'm here with 3 seniors on the Arlington lacrosse team, Sam Afani, Landon Zachary, and Holton Foote. And we just talked about how Metro Nashville came and played them in lacrosse this past Friday. And Metro, or everywhere in Nashville, it was a tragedy. A tornado hit them, and many houses got destroyed, almost the whole city pretty much, and more than 20 people passed that day. And we just talked about what it means to the lacrosse team and to the community of Arlington for having donations, giving donations to Metro Nashville. So now we're talking about the game. So guys, just really, did y'all win or lose Friday?
We lost 8-9.
8-9. Okay. And what do you think happened there? Just with the game.
We just weren't in it. We just weren't. We came in thinking we were going to beat them because for the last 2 years, we've always came in knowing we were going to beat them because we've always beat them. And they just had more spark than us. They had a lot more want than us. And it was a close game in the beginning. We got ahead, slowed down, and then they just put 2 points in the last 5 minutes of the game, and we just couldn't get them back. So
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say we got kind of careless because we were, like Holton said, we were up by 2 with 3 minutes left in the game, and then we just decided to slack off. I guess we're like, okay, we're gonna win, and then they just put up 3, just back to back to back, and we couldn't get them back.
So you said y'all played them the past 2 years?
Yes.
Yep.
And y'all usually beat them?
yeah.
So would you consider them maybe a rivalry from out of town?
Now,
Possibly. I mean, since this is y'all's 3rd year in a row playing them.
yeah, now for sure. You know, having that game, it was a really chippy game. Both sides were getting bad calls by the refs, and both sides we were fighting. It was back and forth the whole time. Definitely a rival game this year. I think we're going to want it back in the playoffs. They're going to want to beat us again in the playoffs. And, yeah, I mean, it's great to have a rival all the way across the state, right, because you don't see them all the time. So
Shocker, the refs sucked. I mean, I feel like nowadays the refs are just not good. I mean, I feel like they're just pulling them out of rec ball everywhere, any sport, basketball, football. I mean, it's
dodgeball.
unbelievable. But anyways, back to the game. Y'all won by 1 point. How did y'all do personally? Or one, I don't know how y'all do.
We lost by 1.
Oh, yeah, I mean, y'all lost by 1.
Yeah.
My bad. How did y'all do personally?
I mean, I came out hard. I got my 3rd hat trick in 3 games.
What exactly would you consider a hat trick?
3 goals, but I got five
3 goals.
points in all because I got 2 assists. I thought I tried my best, but I could have done a little better. Our offenses, they tried their best, I guess, but then we started slacking at the end.
Yeah.
Always got to play 4th quarter. Hold it up. I don't know if there's a quarters in lacrosse.
There is.
There
It's
is.
4 quarters.
Yeah, 4th quarter.
Yeah, like Holden said, they wanted it more. We had a terrible week at practice, goofing off the whole time. Because like you said, we beat them twice 2 years, and we beat them by large numbers too. It wasn't a back and forth game. And we came out knowing it was going to be a walk-off game, another W in the column, and it wasn't that. And by the 4th quarter, we were hanging our heads, and they took advantage of it, and they beat us.
And you know what? It's all right because, I mean, the game of lacrosse goes past just playing on the field and stuff. I mean, I honestly think y'all did have a win this past week. I mean, giving donations to Metro Nashville, I mean, that's one of the most caring things you can do, and it really shows the community of Arlington as a whole, and it really shows how much care the lacrosse team really has. I mean, a lot of people might think y'all are hard and stuff, but I mean, y'all's heart, soft. All right. I mean, just giving donations and stuff, and just any final thoughts you would have to add about just this whole past week, the tragedy, anything.
I mean, I just hope they're doing better and hope those donations went to good use and they're just doing better. And yeah.
Landon?
Got nothing. I can't wait to see them later in the season.
Like Holton said, I hope they're doing better. Our donations went through. Everyone's at least feeling a little better, getting their houses rebuilt or whatever happened during the tragedy.
Well, Metro Nashville, we are still praying for you and everybody in Nashville, and we just hope the best, and we hope our donations really did help out because Arlington cares. But we're still going to beat y'all next time in lacrosse, okay? I mean, I guess we could say they got lucky.
Yeah.
Did we say it?
I got lucky.
I took it
Anyways,
easy on them.
Thank y'all for joining me today. This has been great having y'all, and I'm Hudson Criswell, and we're out.
Man, I love how our community helps out so much. After this short PSA break, we will be heading over to Cameron with an interview on Sunrise.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here, and it doesn't matter, your religion or, what part of the world you're from, that just sort of all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
Yo siento que soy parte de esa bendición que ese niño recibió al irse a su casa ya sanado.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Right, and when did the store open and how long did it take to build?
It was already built. We had an existing building. We just had to prepare it for our business, but we've been open full-fledged with all the hardware since October.
All right, and how do you think the store will make Arlington prosper more?
Well, I would hope it would save the Arlington homeowners and consumers and builders time and trouble of driving, all the way to places like Lowe's in Bartlett, etc., because we're the only hardware and lumber yard anywhere near, here. So save consumers time and money. First of all, we're very competitively priced, but secondly, just the fact that we deliver and that they can come here instead of driving closer into another town, whether that be Bartlett or Memphis.
All right, and how do you advertise your store around the town?
We try to do it with outside, sales reps and word of mouth, but we also advertise in the local shopper, news, and we also do some high school advertising in the baseball field, football field, etc., and just trying to continue to do that. We do have somebody currently working on a little more updated Facebook type social media, which we haven't been as aggressive with that as we probably should be, but we're getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does a typical day in this job look like for you?
A typical day in this job for me, what does it look like?
Yeah.
I get here about 6, and we make sure our trucks are loaded for deliveries, and we open the store at 7. And mainly making sure that customers are taken care of with getting their loads of lumber, or helping and assisting people who walk in wanting to purchase paint or nuts and bolts or tools or any type of hardware, plumbing, etc. Just waiting on people. And of course we have a great staff of people here, so that helps me a lot. But that, and I just try and take care of having the inventory needed and necessary for our customer base.
And does this store have any other locations?
We do have another location. It's about 45 minutes away in Horn Lake, Mississippi, and it's been there for about 25 years, if I'm right in that ballpark. And it's been there a lot longer, so it is well established. But it's in DeSoto County. But yeah, that's our other location.
All right. And how do you plan to expand your store more?
Well, we'd like to. We're always getting and asking for feedback from the consumers and the builders in the area, and trying to find out what products they need. And we're going to try and incorporate more of that stuff. We started out just with basic, hardware and lumber, and we're more experienced in lumber, so we stockpiled a lot more of that and put a lot more inventory in. But we're going to try and gauge what customers say they need. To make their lives easier, and what we can do well and get in here and expand that way, which will at some point hopefully lead to a true physical expansion of the actual facility. But right now our expansion will be focused on short term, just trying to bring in more products that we don't have that the Arlington community needs.
And what made you want to go into the lumber and agriculture industry?
I've been in the construction type building materials industry for about 30 years, and the people that I work with and for have been in lumber that length of time. I've been in different things, but it's just been the thing that I know, whether it be selling brick, block, windows, doors. So the lumber yard was a natural fit for me, and like I say, our owner is he's a lumber person and very knowledgeable, and has been in that type of industry all his career. So it was just something that we knew well, the building materials industry, and the opportunity here in Arlington was really good. Found the right location at the right time, so we're excited to be here. Have been very well received, and those were the reasons we wanted to do this.
All right. Thank you so much. That's about it.
Thanks for watching. Come back next month for our next show.
Arlington. This $1.8 million project is being built on 6 acres of land.